WardiTV Summer Championship action. Very quickly, couple shoutouts. A Spanish Goat also hitting us up with the Prime sub as the break started. 6 months in total. Thank you so much. Half a year. And yo, Wazag on the 56 months on the Prime. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Getting closer with the 56 months. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. Keeping these events going. As we do have bottom left, Purple Terran player from Team Liquid. This is Clem. Top right-hand side of the map, you will see our yellow Zerg from TvZ Gaming. This is going to be Solar, but he's not from TvZ. Officially, I think when he played this match, he was still in TvZ, or he just left. Of course, now he is a part of Onside Gaming, so Solar, part of Onside Gaming. Just gonna say that, and I guess I should hide the clan tags, because Clem's is in his name, so if I just hide Solar's, then it does help a little bit. Remembering that. So again, these games were played last week. Again, I was away Wednesday through Monday. So this is my first chance to really get to cast them, or at least schedule these games and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what went down. That's what's been going on. I was away in London for the week at the Pokemon World Championship. It was a lot of fun. Had a good time. Played some games. They're pretty good for my first time playing a tournament. Pretty happy. 3 wins, 4 ties, 3 losses. Could have been better, but could have been much worse. GG's. Check me out, guys. I can't wait for Twitch. Why he doesn't play StarCraft when he'll play Pokemon? He has no passion. No passion. It's hard. At least card games don't require mechanics, you know. It's a big difference. Biggest mechanic in card games is shuffling, which I can just about get done. Anyways, this Reaper is going to go across the map here from Clem's. We're going to go journeying up to the top into the natural and having a look to see just maybe what it can do as we drop a little grenade down. Going to bop the drone initially, and the wings start to take just a little bit of damage to start out with. Couple queens coming through, drone still producing. Just going to see that factory is about to finish very soon, and obviously we just saw Ragnarok taking the victory over Hero Marine as Clem opens 3cc on the shortest map in the map pool, so kind of mixing it up and taking a little bit of a risk maybe. But yeah, taking a little bit of a risk maybe, but actually going to be probably paying off, because it doesn't look like Solar's going to be overly aggressive straight away himself. So yeah, kind of nice from Clem, and we'll see if he can make it. By the way, 3 Terran players won the group so far. Kelazur won Group A, Spirit won Group B, Gun won Group C. So if Clem wins this, it's a 4th Terran player through to the playoffs, and they would have all done it by winning their groups. Okay, here is something though, because the good thing about that is it means that if Clem wins this and advances in first place of the group, in the playoffs, there will be no mirror matches in the first round at the very least. So that's kind of cool, right? That's definitely something. I'm a fan of that. Gets me excited. Things being started up. A couple Hellions coming through. We're just going to see our starport dropping down onto Tech Lab, and I wouldn't be surprised to see just a single Banshee here early on. I mean, we're playing Waterfall. It's short. You got to have something of a contingency plan in case of roaches. And even not just early roaches, but later roaches as well. Having a couple Banshees still alive later on, help against some of those roach timings, can absolutely be very useful. So yeah, that's 100% something that's worth committing into and having an answer for. As you just see a couple of Hellions of Clem, we'll move out across to the upper right hand side, joining up with the other couple and the Reaper, and just going to keep the map control going, swinging around from one way to the other, try and get some creep tumors. Not going to find any active ones at the front here at the very least. Just going to swing it back down a little bit as this Marine works its way through the Overlord. So Overlord taking a little bit of damage. Ooh, ow, ooh. Taking some shots. Bang, bang, pow, pow. Factory going to lift off, move up, take a reactor of its own. Another Rax coming on in already, so we are absolutely just powering up into the bio play. How many Hellions was this in total? 8, so not slacking on the Hellion count at all. And pretty much playing one of the very standard openings. 3cc Hellion Banshee. Pretty much just a massive go-to when it comes to TvZ. Nothing really too surprising about that. That's just, like I say, not surprising at all. There's a couple of engineering bays are going to come on down here from Clement. And just on the way through, Stimpack a building, refinery finishes up. We're just going to see how Banshee going to go and have a little push out the side, as we do have Quick Tumors again trying to advance. Obviously, two Banshees together are the magic number. Get some one-shots on some drones, maybe catch some drones transferring between bases and so on. All of that absolutely a possibility as our Hellions will come in. There's the Banshees cloaking, and they will begin to make their way forward. Uh-oh. They're just sitting between the bases here, and obviously no mobile detection. Led just finished up. Oh, there is an Overseer here, actually. I didn't think there'd been time to morph an Overseer in. Uh-oh, Banshee number 1 does go down. This didn't really go too well for Clem. Gets a couple drones. Gonna put some damage onto this hatch. Be surprised if this led to anything. Felt like that was a Reaper trying to grenade, but then didn't get the grenade off. Yeah, this is honestly just a set of fights from Clem that was very... not terrible. I mean, we lost a Banshee for no real reason. He still got a bit of damage done. Overall, efficiency-wise, it was nice. I just would have been happier for Clem if he'd lost 2 Hellions and then he kept the 2 Banshees alive, right? Because the second Banshee, like I say, it makes a difference sometimes. And I feel like the Banshee's the one thing that you might actually really want to keep throughout this game. But yeah, still has 8 Hellions, still has good map control, still has that to help him fight with his first Marine push as well, which can always work wonders. As we are going to find a chance here to get some creep. Just gets 1 active tumor that's spreading forward there. That will be it for the moment. Vaccine and booster cross. Stimpack is done, of course. So, trying up with these Hellions, I mean, he got definitely a chance to, well, cancel this 5th hatchery, I would say. Maybe get some of this creep spread. I don't imagine that this area around here is going to be an important one for Clem throughout this game. Really try and push this high ground from the low ground and hold this kind of a position quite heavily. We'll scan, we'll take down the few creep tumors. Hellions will start a fight on this left-hand side. Just going to morph into Hellbats here just to improve this fight. We're going to get rid of all 3 of these queens. And the 4th one, I say all 3 of those are 4th ones. It wasn't all of the queens. Yeah, we lose all the Hellbats there. The resources lost still in Clem's favor. It felt like the Hellbats didn't really trade too well. They got jumped on very quickly. The Marines never really stood and helped the Hellbats because they were obviously target firing down 3 of the 4 queens. Just meant that the Hellbats maybe didn't find as much value as you would have hoped for. I was kind of surprised to see Clem not aiming for the Baneling snipes there as well. Obviously, this is Korea versus Europe, which means we're playing on NA, and I feel like the fact this is Waterfall means that this Clem's map pick probably means it was Solar's server preference, I would imagine. So, yeah, that would be my guess. Let me double check. Winners match. Oh no, this actually is, This actually is central for the first map. Interesting. But it should have been Solar's map pick. I wonder if Solar just wants the Terran maps on Central than the Zerg maps on West or something. Or maybe they just didn't listen to my instructions when I told them. Because I sent them a big list of instructions because I wasn't here as to what the servers and stuff would be. So it's very possible they just did their own thing. I don't know. Anyway. Hero164, thank you so much for the 17 months. How you doing, man? Thanks so much for the resub. Appreciate it. Thanks for still supporting. There's a tank shot or 2 going off under the lings. Some of this creep spread being cleared out. It's just pushing some of that back, getting some extra tumors up and running. Do have our Bling Bane still sat out in the middle. Hatchery in the top left. Set up as well. We just got that lurker down on the way up from Solar. I mean, Clem not really going over aggro with the pushes. He's about to hit 2-2, so if there's a time for him to keep pushing and keep it going, then sure, now would be probably it. But this is also that map which, you know, as the game draws out, there's only so many bases a Zerg can take, because if you're comfortable just trading well and letting the Zerg only mine their side of the map and eventually knowing you can mine your own side, that's definitely a strategy that Terran can take. You don't have to play overly aggressive and, like, look to end the game early here. It's actually a good position. I like this a lot for Clem. These tanks keep target firing down Banelings. I really felt like they maybe could have target fired down a few more. He will evacuate the Marines. I like that position a lot for Clem. Just felt like, yeah, I did a lot more running than fighting. Expected him to be able to just stand up and put out a bit more damage there, to be honest. stem forward. A few creep teammates going down. A few Banes on the right side. Tank will siege, and a couple tanks just going to get sieged up. Bane getting pushed back as the Queen's over to the left, pulling away as well. We do stem forward here, grabbing ourselves a drone, and a couple of creep teammates being picked away at also. And this bio army just continues all the way through this. Going to get rid of these couple of Queens and, yeah, just clearing the way. Adrenal glands, missiles, carapace, all upgrades that continue through right here as my creep spread continues to be shut down. Final runs up to the high ground. The Ling's going to keep on storming through. Lingbane Hydra set to maybe try and strike into this army. Still maxed out here as Clem takes down a few additional Zerglings. 3-3 upgrades on the way in the engineering base, turrets, tanks, Ghost. We're continuing in production. This Bioforce still wanting to move up as a Banshee that turns around to fight a little bit. That Lingbane pulls away one more time. Clem just sits here again, just off creep for the most part, right? The creep that is here is receding and just says, yeah, if you want to fight me, you're always going to be fighting into me, you're always going to be taking kind of bad fights typically, so yeah, let's do this. He wasn't sieged with one of his tanks though, and this is much more going to be about being off creep than anything else. Some tanks on the bottom side will get sieged. He actually turned this into an okay fight for himself. He might be able to with all these extra tanks still taking part. It feels like now there's only Lings on top of the Marines. We have ducked one tank forward there, but yeah, I mean, we're even sniping down some of these final Vipers. I feel like this is actually pretty okay for Clem. Let's have a look at the army size. It kind of plummets on both sides, right? Like, both players lose a lot in this fight. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I feel like this was okay for Clem overall. It was kind of a weird one because Solar really pushed a long way. If there was a few Banes that came up this direction, I would have liked it a lot more because the Lings here just fought a group of Marines and they just stood and fought, right? And Marines are very happy to take that kind of a fight. See a couple extra Banes coming online. So we're going to be maxed out right here. Again, best of 5 this series. Winners and decided matches, best of 5 in these games. So just a little reminder to that as Drone will drop down a hatchery. On this bottom side, we've got these Lings running forward to try and grab a Ghost. Unsuccessful so far. Plus 2 vehicle weapons coming through on the armory. And a couple snipes coming down. We will evacuate one of these Ghosts out of here. Just going to be seeing our Adaptive Talent still coming up. Is going to be finishing. We've got Lurkers actually striking to the bottom and just kind of walking their way in here. So first time we've really seen the Lurkers. This is going to be a distraction for the main attack to happen over here as well. Clem pulling back, still quite clumped up, and still being chased by a pretty hefty group of Banelings as they roll on forward towards this Marauder Ghost Force. Bottom side of this army was actually cleaned out. Wow, so only 7 SCVs lost, and Clem, what a moment or two from him. No, increases resources lost by a good couple thousand. Wow, Solo just lost a lot right there. That bottom side army getting cleaned out, plus actually holding on the top. How many Ghosts have we lost this game? 4. We just killed 11 Lurkers. Fire Sims up, a little bit of creep spread going down. Just going to be having our Bioforce still trying to fight against this. These Lings are going to run forward too as the Bioforce wants to get away. These Ghosts, well, kind of just stuck in the front. What can you do? The Widow Mine actually helped out quite a bit, got a good connection. As Clem's splitting to try and absorb these Baneling shots as best he can and getting a few extra hits off on them. Really getting to chase those down is wonderful. And going to continue through here, gets rid of 1, 2 Banelings. The rest of these Zerglings might want to come on through. Another Bane going down. A little blinding cloud on top of the siege tank right here, and just going to be seeing our snipes continuing off. Hydra's taking damage. Overseer's dropping. Moves up this tank, moves up the left-hand side just a little bit, and we will see Clem still pushing this direction. Still trying to take this base here, which obviously should be Clem's. I actually like that he takes this base. That's a base that Clem might struggle to take himself on this side, and one that he's not denying straight away, so that does give Solar a little bit more income to work with to make up the overall resource loss difference in this game. And just get rid of this base over here. Now a few Marines will end up down here, though. It's a short map, but, I mean, if you're fully focused on the top, this base can be denied by just a small amount of Marines. Let's see, then, as the lineup from Clem. He's got a planetary fortress to help him out here as well. The tanks take a long time to siege. I was going to say, I'm worried about the Vipers, but they have already been taken care of. And these tanks are going to decimate this Bane line. I mean, now the tanks will fall, but there's a lot of bio left. The planetary fortress is actually going to die. Okay, but for a moment it looked like it was going to live. The fact that Hydra's had to turn around means we sniped down a bunch of them and again Solar. It's just such an expensive trade. Resources lost now at 11,000 difference. Marines dropping off, getting the Hydra, getting a couple Lings, getting another Hydra maybe. Now pushing up this direction, going to go after this hatchery as well. Also going to knock that down. Those Broodlings will fall. And a few extra Banelings continue to morph in right here. We sniped down a Hydralisk already. Trying to snipe a Baneling. The Ghosts do have their snipe cancelled. Going to try that one again. We lift up. We evacuate out. Solar just doesn't have the bank to fully rebuild, losing these bases. It just means that he can't rebuild straight away, and that's kind of rough, because now you're fighting with less army supply into a defensive Terran. I mean, if the fights weren't going your way before, there's zero reason why they should go your way now. Look at the tank count! Oh my goodness. So many tanks, and Solar's just going to lose everything here. He just kill off 27 SCVs, which in fairness is obviously very good. Like, killing SCVs is decent. Solar's actually just going to leave the game right now. Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't have a bank, and I think that's what he knows is the problem. He can't stop Clem's army because he has no way to rebuild properly. He doesn't have enough minerals because he doesn't have the bases to mine from here. 17 minutes in game. Clem gets game number 1. And that tank line was just brutal. There was just so many siege tank shines. People are like, you know, he's ahead in supply and supply. He's down so much army. And Clem's going to find so much value with his current army. And Solar can't actually get any more army up. Like, yeah, if you're playing like a GSL match or something, maybe you stay in this and give it a go, but I think it's pretty fair to just tap out of this one. Game 1 of the best of 5. Get into that game number 2, because that first game was, I mean, you have 0 bank, down 20 army supply, like, yeah. And even if Clem doesn't push, which would be kind of wild, because Clem just won a massive fight, even if Clem doesn't push, Clem's going to reestablish bases. He's still trading extremely well. You have to retake bases as well before you can really remax and go again. So Clem's going to have a ton of setup time, and you just can't give the Terran that amount of time. You know, you can't let the Terran do all those things, right? Clem bottom left, Solar top right. Game number 2. Again, best of 5 series. In the winners match, winner goes to the playoffs. So far, playoff lineup is pretty stacked. TvZ, a Laser, Spirit, Max Pax, Bjorn, Raynor, and the winners of today's group. We'll see Gumiho and Rogue dropping out of that Group B with Max Pax and Spirit. Spirit definitely showing up there. Kua didn't make it through that Group C with Bjorn and Raynor. Group A, arguably the easiest group that we had, but Laser and TvZ, no slouches. Going to be some fun playoffs again. They will start tomorrow. 5 best of 5s a day, pretty much, as long as everything goes to plan. Again, we'll have that playoff bracket for you guys at the end of the day as well, so stay tuned for that a bit further down the line. STV pulls away over to the left. Reaper is going to come out over to the right. And let's see what this Reaper can get up to. Nothing too crazy to begin with, right? Just a Reaper. We don't see anything too aggressive from Solar. Doesn't do much. Initial Link Dance is decent here. Link Speed is going to be coming through, so getting that started up. Been on the way. Factory from Clem just finishing up now as well. Is going to go and drop down onto the reactor. Barracks can go and drop down itself. Maybe Starport is on the way too. All of this coming up for the moment. Queen's just going to hit that Reaper, and Reaper wants to come around this side, try to hit the creep spread, not quite able to. Starport is about to finish, so get that finished up. It's going to start up a Viking already. Look at this, what Clem's doing. Marauders, concussive shells, really hiding his barracks away, and gonna hit us with a little bit of a Hellbat attack. We've been seeing this Marauder Hellbat attack a lot lately, and it just is the most committed version, so it really does punish a Zerg who's just not quite ready for a Hellbat attack. See if Clem can use it successfully here. Try and get himself a 2-0 lead. As the medevac begins, we are obviously going to wait for the armory to start here as well. That is a necessity with this. Should be pretty much next on the agenda of things to get, because otherwise you're kind of not going to be having the Hellbats on time. Four Hellions, the Reaper, up around the top. Armory coming through, Stimpack is building. A couple of Marauders really are just hiding away here as best as possible. Staying out of all reaches of vision. I mean, Solar had one Overlord that didn't see anything, so his vision is super limited this game, and there's no reason for him to think right now that anything is necessarily up as he keeps droning here. Yeah, you get the feeling this is going to be a few too many drones, guys. Now this Viking chipping away at an Overlord. Yeah, Clem just going to keep the Hellions back. Here come the Marauders. We land the Viking. Armory is a couple moments away, and we are going to start making a play, and uh-oh. Yep, those Queens are dead. I mean, that's just a horrible start, right? Like, if you lose 3 Queens pretty much on their own straight away, I mean, this is already bad, you know, with the drone count being what it is and not enough units on the map. If you lose 3 Queens straight away, we do kill the medevac kind of quickly, so that's nice. Doesn't matter. Can you actually get enough damage output on these units to even start threatening them? Whether they have healing or not, I'm actually not really sure. You can see the Lings die so quickly. The Queens obviously do chip away over time, but Solar just doesn't have anything to defend, apparently. He's going to leave this game, and Clem is going to find himself with a 2-0 lead already. Just looking good, right? Number 3 of, again, this best-of-5 series, but this best-of-5 may be cut short, as in the bottom left, our purple Terran player from Team Liquid is Clem. Up 2-0, 1 map away from victory. Top right, yellow Zerg. Representing Onside Gaming, it is going to be Solar. Well, back on a Terra map, obviously Clem gets the Hellbat win on the Zerg pick. And now back to the Terrany map here. Let's see how this works out. Let's see how this goes. For game number 3. I'm playing pretty slow in that first game as well. Very happy to sit back, let Solar attack into him, just be prepped against those attacks and so on. It's definitely a very interesting way to approach it, right? Let's see if Clem go up the aggression maybe here in this game number 3, or if he maybe has other plans for himself. Let's get this up and running. Overlord again, heading down the bottom left, getting this set up, getting this all started. Third map of the best of 5. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hype, hype, hype. Overlord is chilling out over there. So he's gonna be moving around again. Not really much to talk about just yet. How are y'all doing in the chat? How are y'all feeling today, guys? Are y'all ready for the weekend? Friday tomorrow, like I say, WardiTV Summer Championship action every day over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we will be live. Monday might drop by for an ESL Open Cup Europe, but on Tuesday I do fly to the Netherlands for TSL, which is going to be a whole bundle of fun as well, of course, so make sure you check that out. So yeah, that's my stream plan. I'll stream every day up until I go away, then I'll be away for TSL. Then I shall come back, and once I return, I shall cast for you more StarCraft. I don't have much of a plan for after TSL, but I think we might start up the WardiTV European League. I think that is maybe the plan, get that going before DreamHack. I don't know when DreamHack qualifiers are, but I think we can probably get that at least set up before DreamHack starts. Then during DreamHack we'll do Korean League and stuff and all those kind of things. Should be fun, guys. That's the current plan of action at the very least, I would say. So yeah, definitely excited for TSL though. I mean, that's going to be a that's going to be awesome to see the Team Liquid facility and stuff. Really excited to get there and see what it's all about and stuff as the Reaper gets through. A couple of Queens get there. Just going to put some damage onto that Reaper as our link speed continues along. Reaper and the Hellion poke forward. Couple Queens going to shoot away at the Reaper. Just going to see the Banshee on the way out from Clem as well. Command Center will be finishing up here from Clem as well. So just getting that finishing up in the main. So that's going to be our third CC coming up here. I'm just going to be having our Mule still mining away on that natural. Couple of Hellions and a Reaper wanting to press forward from Clem, but decided not to go for it. Just going to pull back around the left-hand side now instead. Banshee's still on the way up, and we've got this one Marine chipping away at this Overlord. Some good damage done, and we're just going to see that Marine still working through the Ovi. Ovi is going to be very low and gone. Oh, denied. Hellions over here, pushed back by the couple of Queens. Some creep spread trying to come out through this top side as well. Let's get our Hellions again at the front. First Banshee coming around. Again, very similar to what we saw back in that first game. 3CC, Cloak Banshees. Just playing a macro game where we're going to have, well, the Banshees to help you out a little bit. And this time the Banshee gets in for a drone straight away. Cloak not done yet, which is obviously why the Spore also wasn't done yet. Just gets in there early, gets a drone. Nice save on the second drone as well. It's obviously really good to do. As oh, the Hellions are going to get a run by. Oh, Solar might be in a bit of trouble over here. 3 drones already dead, and how many is it going to be? My goodness, I feel like he's been very fortunate so far that it's not gone way higher than 9. We're going to be at 10. I mean, this is already feeling very bad because 12, and we're not done yet. 13. This should be the end of these Hellions. They can't really find a way out. They're cornered. He dives in, and he will get one more. 14 kills on the mineral line. I mean, the only thing I will say is that Solar didn't really rebuild the Lings. He built pretty much purely drones, whereas if he built Lings to try and help clean this up and then built drones, it might have been just that much worse for him. Even still, we've got the Banshees that are going to add on more damage and plus 2 worker kills to this so far, as we have the Spire now dropping down into the back of the natural. And the 2 Banshees are going to come back around into the center. They start chipping their way through the Lings here, so a few of those still being picked up. Reactor still coming online. Our Banshees to the top side. We'll love to go after this 4th hatchery. It's going to start picking our way through this, so. Take that down. Cancel rebuild. Try for it again. Second time. He's actually only a shot or so away from getting it. Kills it this time. Solo didn't believe Clem would get it. And the hatchery gets killed, and that means a drone has to come back over. I mean, just not great, right? You lose 300 minerals, plus the drone, and you have to move a drone over there. Really just not ideal. Marines will jump up into the medevacs and start to make their way over the right-hand side now. We'll unload these Marines and start to pick through the creep spread here. I'm going to scan up and just going to go through and get rid of that creep spread. So a lot of creep going down. Overlord taking some shots. Queens will be able to turn around and deal some damage to it. The Marines will be forced to pull back here as well. Now just getting a couple of additional creep demons going down as our Marines will go back around the right. Our combat shield upgrade is going to be finishing shortly. +2 attack is going to be on the way. Melee upgrades still coming through on the side of Solar. And these Mutalisks are going to make their way straight down here. Find these Banshees. Oh, nice insta-cloak to save him. And it's going to be an unprepared Clem, so Mutas to get Solar back into this game. Boy, does he need something, because, again, his upgrades aren't there, so he's 0-0 right now. He's fully invested on these Mutas dealing damage, and they are going to do just that. 8 workers already. I mean, Clem is pushing, and he is really committing to this push. He needs damage off of this with how much he's going to be taking from the Mutas, so let's see if it can be enough for him as he does get himself one Muta kill. He does start to push this back with the turrets, and the Mutas look as though they're going to come across and now maybe try and defend against this Clem army. Clem just spreading the Marines a little bit here. Hatchery still taking some damage. Mutas maybe ready to swing in from the other side, and, well, going to go for an initial siege tank. Going to start to pick that off. He's going to go down already. A couple of Banelings getting chipped away at 2. Turn around once again. Queen's taking hefty damage. Ling's still in production. Well, the Marines still trying to come on forward here. We do have the Lings, the Mutas, the Banes. Going to try and make their way into this, and in we go. Going for this commitment. Clem is already backing it up, saving a lot of his Marines. Wild couple moments there, though. A wild couple of moments. Now you have the Mutas coming back across the map. 2-2. Still on the way out. Just going to be seeing a couple of Banshees getting up here. Not going to be able to do too much. Just going to work our way through the couple of Crypt Demons. Overlord still taking some damage. Banelings wanting to roll into this and actually going to grab a whole bunch of Marines. Clem's still just holding the map nicely. Obviously, we'll see what the Mutas can do. So far, Clem's been pretty good at pulling his workers to repair the turrets. Loses this refinery. It's something he can't really do much about without Marines there. Holding these positions, opening up some rocks, giving himself extra attacking options. Different pathways he can utilize to get up and into position. These Mutas do just continue through. A few Marines are going to go stemming it forward towards this upper right-hand side. A couple Lings start to go down. A Baneling connects already. Once again, going to stand here, get a few shots off on some Lings. The Banes, they want to try and come forward here as well. Queen coming through. Now we've got the Mutas from Solar in that bottom right side. They're going to make a dive down the bottom and try and aim for this mineral line where, again, a turret is going to be repaired, but... oh, no. I was going to say for a moment it looked like it wasn't going to die. Yeah, okay, well, we buy a little bit of time at least. Mutalisks are just going to go and ping their way through this planetary. To actually get to this top left. I mean, we are on creep here. We're just going to try and split against these Banes. Have some support in Widow Mines. Again, Clem got a Thor on the way over to deal with these Mutas, so this is just non-stop from him as he keeps the pressure up. He wants to hit this right side too. Solar is prepped here with units. I mean, everyone is seemingly kind of all over this map as they kind of need to be. Solar is actually now actually having a little bit of trouble. He's obviously busy defending. There's a medevac with units inside, not targeted down. He will push down the left side. There's a Widow Mine here that can hit a lot of Banes, but it does just get split away from. Lings will take the hit. Turn back around, pushing this Overlord back once more. And again, Marines are loading back up into medevacs. We'll have another attempted push, I imagine, on this hatchery very soon. And yet forward, we get 2 Creep Tumors, picking that off already. Command Center from Clem, going to go to the 9 o'clock. Big tank shot already landing for a couple of changelings. We move forward here again. Ling Bane wants to come forward. Here we go, running away from this. We have the medevacs just going to load up and back it up a little as we do see the Widow Mine shots actually both being used there. And I love that they were underneath the tanks. We have another fight breaking out top left side as these two are just brawling here in game number 3. I'm taking just much more aggressive positions on the map. This might have to stop, though. Ultra's Cavern is done, and obviously as Ultras come into the play, that is when you really want to be slowing it down to get libs or ghosts online and just getting a proper answer Ultras. Fights like this become so much worse for you as the Terran player. Oh, he loses a full medevac he just loaded up there to the Mutalisks. And unfortunately, he's pushing the right side, and he's actually going to find a break here. So Clem pushed back on the left and losing a lot, but finds a hatchery kill on the right-hand side at the same time. And just as Solar wins one side, maybe it's because he didn't leave enough on the other. And again, both players take hits. I mean, Clem is definitely trailing on supply here, though. Word count not bad. Most resources lost out, about a 3k difference. Not too bad for Solar at all. Pretty healthy in all honesty, especially when you compare it to some of the earlier games we saw. I'll lift these units up, evacuate them away. Wouldn't mind burrows. I was going to say, that's a connection! Oh my goodness! Solar tried to split, but it still finds the massive shot. What a connection that is from Clem. Way to break a bit of momentum of the Zerg player, slow him down a little bit. What a mind shot is. Well, these Marauders want to pull back, like I say. For Clem, the biggest issue right now is he's not prepped to really go into anything against these Ultras. There's the Ghost Academy just now dropping down. It's so late to start. It's real. I mean, it's such a late Ghost Academy. I can't quite get over that, as obviously we're just going to be seeing our Mutas, our Lings, our Banes, our Ultras pulling back away over to the right-hand side. Some of these drones of Solar will move down the right and get established on that base. I think they might end up having a fight here in the next few moments, as we just have this Bioforce stimming around a little bit. Lings, Banes, Ultras coming around here, and a couple more Widow Mines getting burrowed, as we will find a hatchery on this right-hand side. Lings and the Banes come through initially, just going to start kiting backwards that little bit. A few of these Banelings getting picked away at, and the Ultras also going to go down. Bane's still crashing into Marauders, but we will stand here and honestly have a pretty solid fight, I feel like, for Clem. He leaves now, has to leave the Thor behind, unfortunately. But again, look at this. There's just no units from Solar on the top left, so Clem takes so much attention on the other side. And look at what he's doing. He is chasing down drones. He is so convinced that killing drones is the necessity here rather than just taking down a base. Don't let those drones go mine elsewhere. Really try and limit the overall income that Solar can create for himself in the foreseeable future. Have a mine there that just grabbed a shot, and again Solar, now that he's moved some units away, he's certainly weak on this base as well, and Clem is actually going to get this base, lift up and leave. And to me, it's kind of wild. There's 23 mutas on the map, and Clem is playing like there's none, because he just keeps running in, lifting up, and getting out again. It's kind of crazy. Kind of really crazy. We just get rid of a couple SCVs. Thor shots starting to come through. We do have the Widow Mine there nearby to help out. Well, Ghost Snipes coming down. Widow Mine's firing. Continue to burrow these up. Just gonna lift up and go up to the high ground now as our Bioforces will unload again. It's gonna start stimming away. The Lings will continue to chase these units down. Widow Mine looking to try and connect. Clem might be in some trouble here. He does have a Planetary Fortress to help him out, but all of his units are pretty much out of steam. Planetary at least is holding for a little while. Here's some Balins to try and get some connections. The Ghost looking to snipe down the Ultras. The Planetary is living. If you do not kill the Planetary Fortress here from Solar, this is a horrible decision. It's so expensive, and he doesn't get a base. Top left base dies in the process as well. And Clem might have just won the game on the back of that, because Solar, I mean, you can't commit that many units and not kill the base. Yeah, I mean, Clem's economy now is going to be still great for the way that he's trading. And he's going to hit this right side base as well. He's going to get over here. Drone's going down. Solar's going to leave the game. He can't fight this army. What a hold right there from Clem. I mean, obviously, this army right now is very scary still.